Hello. I want to take this time to welcome you to Inspire. Welcome to our lesson today. That is on factors. We are going to start on the first part, that is on divisibility tests. So the first part that you're going to start on is divisibility test. And we will start by defining what divisibility tests are. You see that divisibility tests are quick methods used to determine whether a number can be divided by another number exactly without performing long division. So what does it mean? For example, if you're asked about whether a number is divisible by 2, e.g., you have been told is 812416 divisible by 2. So when you're asked whether this number is divisible by 2, on divisibility test, the question is not asking you to take this number, for example, and start dividing it with the 2. But you're supposed to know, as much as any number is ending with is even, or it means it ends with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, as much any number is ending with either of these, that number is divisible by what? It is divisible by 2. So the answer will just be simple as yes, it's divisible by 2. What is the reason? The reason is it ends with what? It ends with 6, or else it is what? It is even. That is just what you're supposed to answer for that question. So let's go to now divisibility tests, various divisibility tests. So we'll start with the first one, being the divisibility test. Divisibility test for 2, 3, and 6. So we'll start with the divisibility test for 2. So that is what we are going to start with. So let's start with the divisibility test for 2. Test for 2. When do we say a number is divisible by 2? We say that a number is divisible by 2 if its last digit is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So a number is divisible by 2 if its last digit is either what? It is either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. For example, if you're given a question here, and you are asked, check whether 456, 782 is divisible by 2. So this question is not asking you to take 456,782 and start dividing by 2. When you do that, that is wrong. Remember, the rule is just as simple as we will say, yes, it's divisible. Reason being, yes, it's divisible by 2. Why is it divisible by 2? This number is divisible by 2 simply because it ends with what? It ends with the 2. And that is going to be the answer for that question. So any number, as much as it is ending with either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8, is divisible by 2 without even having to divide. You don't need to keep doing this as much as you're dealing with the divisibility tests. So you just need to confirm what is the last digit of that number. So with that, we can now go to divisibility tests for 2. So let's go to B. So we have divisibility tests for 3. What does the rule for divisibility test for 3 is says? It says that a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of its digits is divisible by 3. So, for example, let's have this example with us. So a number is divisible by 3 if the what? If the sum of its digit is divisible by 3. So let's have an example on that. So our example is, we want to check whether 582,741 is divisible by 3. Remember, we said that we identify whether a number is divisible by 3 by doing what? By adding the digits. And when you add the digits and you divide them by 3, and you get a whole number, then that means that number is divisible by 3. So this means you're going to take the digits here The digits are what? 5 plus 8 plus 2 plus 7 plus 4 plus 1. So 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 plus 2 is 15. 15 plus 7 is 22. 22 plus 4 is 26. 26 plus 1 is what? Is 27. So it means we are going to take our 27, we divide with what? We divide with the 3, and that gives us 9 because of 27, and the remainder is 0. So anytime you divide a number after adding the digits and you find out that there is no remainder, you get a whole number. This means that 27 is a multiple of 3. So we have gotten 9. And this means that even if you take this number and start dividing it with 3, you are going to get a whole number. But remember, that is not what we are doing. Divisibility tests does not mean that we take this number the way it is, like some students do, 582, 741, and you start dividing it with 3. Remember, that is what? That is wrong. You're just supposed to add the digits, and when you get a number such that the number that you get, you divide it with 3, you get that the number is a whole number. It's the number you get after adding the digits is a multiple of 3. Then that means that number is divisible by 3. So we can have another example still on that. That is example 1. So let's have example 2. So example 2, it's still just about the same thing, whereby we have been told that a library arranged $64,821,357 books into 3 equal shelves. Then the question is, can these be done equally? In other words, this question is testing us on whether the number that we have here, that is 64,821,357, is divisible by 3. So remember what we have said, it's not taking the number and start dividing it with 3, but it is adding the what? It is adding the digits. So let's add the digits and see. So you have 6 plus 4 plus 8 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. So let's add these digits and see what you're going to get. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. 20 plus 1 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. 24 plus 5 is 29. 29 plus 7 is what? It is 36. And when you divide 36 with 3, what do we get? 36 divided by 3, we get what? We get 12. That means that 36 is a multiple of 3. When we have 3 times 12, we get 36. Because of 36, the remainder is 0. And that means that the number that we have, which is 64,821,357, is divisible by 3. So that means it is possible to arrange the books into what? Into 3 equal shelves, such that each shelf is going to have equal number of books when you divide this number with 3. So then that means we say yes, it's divisible. Why is it divisible? We say that what? The sum of digits give 36, which is what? Which is divisible by 3. So remember to write this. It is very important. Then from there, we can now go to C, which is the divisibility. It is divisibility tests for 6. So we go to divisibility test for 6. So what does the rule say? So the rule says that a number is divisible by what? By 6 if it's divisible by both 2 and 3. Something to take keen note of. A number is only divisible by 6 if it's divisible by both what? By both 2 and 3. So a number must be divisible by 2. That means that that number must have what? Must be ending with either 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 for it to be divisible by 2. Then it must also be divisible by 3. That means that the sum of digits is divisible by what? It's divisible by 3. So these two must be satisfied for a number to be what? To be divisible by 6. So let's have an example. A good example will be, we have examples here. So the example says that a company packed 7,254,186 biscuits equally into 6 containers. Then the question is this possible? Is this possible? So in another way, when you get such kind of a question, you're not going to be told directly that the question is testing you on divisibility test. But that is what you're going to get the question asking. So when you get such a kind of a question, you should know that this question is asking me is 7,254,186 divisible by 6. Remember, we have said that a number is divisible by 6 if it is divisible by both 2 and 3. So first things first, the first question we need to ask ourselves is 7,254,186 divisible by 2. The answer is yes. Why is it yes? It ends with what? It ends with 6. Remember, we said that a number is divisible by 2 if it is either ending with 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. So that means that our number, which is 7,254,186, is divisible by 2 because it ends with 6. It ends with 6 years. So the second question that we need to ask ourselves is this number divisible? Is 7,254,186 divisible by 3? And what did we say? A number is divisible by 3 when the sum of the digits is what? Is divisible by 3 or is a multiple of 3. So let's add the digits here. So the digits are going to be 7 plus 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 1 plus 8 plus 6. So that means 7 plus 2, that is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 plus 4, that is 18. 18 plus 1, that is 19. 19 plus 8. 19 plus 8, that is 27. 27 plus 6, that gives us 33. And when we divide 33 with the 3, we get what? We get 11. So 11 because of 33. So that means that our number is divisible by what? Is divisible by 3. So the sum of these digits, which is 33, is divisible by 3. We get 11. So yes, again, why is it yes? The sum, so that is the sum of digits give 33, which is divisible by 3. So that is our answer for that. Remember, when we added the digits, these digits, they give us 13 and 33, sorry, and 33 when we divide it with the 3, this means we get 11. And for that reason, 7,254,186 is divisible by 6. Remember, we have concluded that it is divisible by 6 after confirming that this number was divisible by what? Was divisible by both 2 and 3. So that is what you're supposed to do. As much as divisibility test for 2, 3, and 6 is concerned, we shall stop at that point for today. We shall continue in our next lesson. Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye and welcome again to Inspire Learn.